Yeah, it's another road trip for us. We know we've had very honest discussions this week about our last two performances and what's needed. So we know we need a reaction this week. Obviously, we're playing a very good side in Kansas. It's a difficult trip for us, but we feel like we've had a good week's preparation and we're very prepared to go and get a result.
Okay. Taylor.
Yes, I was wondering, do you have any injury updates on Korniak, Van Egmond? And then it also looked like Abby Dahlkemper was kind of back on the field, at least running in sneakers.
Yeah, Abby's been doing a little bit of ball work, so she's moving closer, which is good. Van Egmond and Korniak are still unavailable.
Okay, and then a follow-up to that one, kind of how does your midfield tactics change with their absence? Because there's such strong presences in your midfield.
Yeah, it's difficult. We have to adapt. We have to change. But one window closes for one person, and it opens up another opportunity for someone else. So we've had to look at that closely and how we adapt and how we change things. And I'm borrowing from other units to put into midfield. And yeah, you're missing Korniak, Van Egmond, Doherty Howards, that's a big loss from any team, but it's something we have to deal with. Every team's going to have moments where they're going to be missing key players. Other people need to step up.
Thank you.
Johnny.
I want to talk about Jaden Shaw a little bit because the under 20 national team released their roster yesterday, and she was not on it. Do you have any insight on that decision? And were there any conversations between you and Jaden Shaw on that topic?
Yeah, there was a very open conversation with Jaden. It's my choice not to release her. She's wanted by the national team. Unfortunately, they don't run through FIFA windows. And even if they did, the FIFA windows here aren't even respected. We've got 6 key players out with injuries. It's my job to look after the club. And Jaden was very appreciative of the honest conversation to say we just can't release her right now. She's a starter for us. She's a main feature. She's been a key player for us this season, and we can't afford to miss her during this period.
Had there not been the injuries, would you have considered that?
No, because she starts for us until they actually align the calendar and make it right for the under-20s and help Tracy Kevans to make sure that she can pick her key players and put it in windows where we don't have games. No.
Thank you.
2 balls and a mic.
Hello, Coach. Speaking about just touching on something that you had mentioned on the post-match conferences, that you had seen some of the best play of your team at some point, but it's that consistency that kind of let you down this last match. What are you seeing, and what flashes are you really focusing on that this team is surprising you on, or actually meeting the expectation for? And what ways are you able to then take that on the training pitch in order to make that a more consistent thing?
We need to work harder. That's something that we've really looked at this weekend, is we have to work harder. We have to prepare to grow after on the road, and the work rate wasn't there, and I don't very rarely say that. So I need to look at how to prepare the team to make sure they've got enough energy on the road. And look at how we can get forward into certain areas with efficiency. It wasn't a performance that we will want again last weekend, and we will not be replicating that this weekend.
Thank you.
Abraham.
Hey, Coach, you've talked a bit about the 3-game road trip already, and there's been reports of an MLS side coming to San Diego. So I'm kind of curious, how do you think have there been conversations within the club about what that impact would be like for the team and for scheduling in the future?
I'm also curious too, but we will be at the table as a club to be part of those conversations. We're already having limitations to when we can play and when we can't, so we need to be at the forefront of those conversations and make sure that we are a priority on the list of Snapdragon, and that we can have games when we need them, and the schedule fits our NWSL schedule too. So I'm sure as a club we will be at the forefront of those discussions and make sure that women's teams game slots are protected.
Thank you.
Steph Young.
Thanks. Hi, Coach. You mentioned, you did take some big losses in the midfield, but I actually wanted to ask you about Danny Colaprico in that area because, obviously such an experienced player. I'm just wondering what discussion like with her is and relying on her experience and her ability to, cycle that ball out of pressure and that sort of thing.
she's massive for us at the moment. You know, it's what a key signing for us last year. I couldn't have envisaged we've lost 4 out of 6 midfielders at this part of the season. So, and pretty much out of our control, most of them. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but she becomes even more important and pivotal. Her experience, her ability to solve pressure, her understanding of the game, and also her anticipation around danger is key. We just need to make sure that we've got enough in her in midfield to support her in that role.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
For questions.
Yeah, I think we're really excited for this game. I mean, we're away again, so we're gonna need a lot of just energy going with us to Kansas City. Our last 2 games weren't the result that we wanted, but we're definitely looking forward to this next game. We're putting that behind us. I'm just ready to go full force.
Okay. 2 balls and a mic.
Hello there, Amirah. So just talking about obviously the last 2 results not going your way. What have these training sessions been like now with Casey having seen 2 different fronts with a losing effort, unfortunately? Well, what has that training been like? Has it ramped up? Is it more a consistency of the same things, or what's that atmosphere like?
I mean, we have game plans, we stick to them. We want to make sure that we're focusing on ourselves. I mean, we have tough games ahead. All competition is good, but we want to focus on ourselves. So not just trying to change for what everyone else is doing. But I think the focus has been just heightened. We've been pushing ourselves. Yeah, just a lot of energy at practice and training. We're all rooting for each other, pushing each other as hard as we can to get this result we want this weekend.
Thank you.
And do we have any other questions for Amirah? Oh, Abraham.
Hey, Amirah, you were successful in one of the last matches against KC. Is there a lot of like looking back at old film, or is it kind of like a whole new team that you're looking at now?
Yeah, I mean, looking at the teams this year in general, I feel like a lot of teams are different. So I definitely will be looking at film and trying to see what I can incorporate from the last games, success from the last time we played them. But I mean, again, it's a new year, new team, new players, new personnel. So I think it's just looking at what they've done so far this year and just capitalizing on any opportunities that we think that we can be successful in.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else before Amirah jumps off? Any other questions?
I just had a follow-up as far as another away match. This has a string of 3 away matches. Casey focuses a lot on rest and recovery. What does that look like for you specifically, Amirah?
Yeah, I mean, I have certain routines that I like to take in between games, whether it's cryotherapy, getting a nice bath, yeah, just taking care of my body in that way, nutritionally as well. But as well as maybe not getting as much minutes, so also working on that as well, getting more touches, getting more fitness in. So that'll just be my focus for this game.
Perfect. Appreciate it. Safe travels.
Thank you.